Hey, I'm Ranger Leaola Smith. I'm a Ranger too at Little PD State Park. Come spend a day with me. Typically in the mornings, I like to do some grounds work around our day use bathroom, and that includes raking a path down here and raking off our picnic pad over here and touching up the tables. All right, let's go. Broke a sweat. All right, and now our last thing that we're gonna rake is gonna be this picnic pad. It doesn't get reserved often, but a lot of hand radio people come and they use this area to set up their equipment, and they'll be talking to people all across the US and overseas. All right, and that kind of completes some of my normal day use projects. Just keeping the grounds clean, picking up trash, raking around the facilities, keeping them open up and visible to people. Some of my job responsibilities, because only 2 people work here, is keeping up with maintenance, safety officer, and host coordinator. And of course, all the administrative things in the office. All right, now we'll move on to our next thing. All right, so we are currently going to install a new handle on this bathroom door. It helps when we have to close it down for the season. And sometimes we have to close it for like painting and things, and it's hard closing this door without a handle. All right, let's get to it. Oh, well, there we go. It's all fixed, and now we can shut this door. All right, so now we're gonna take a lap through the campground. I usually try to check on everything that I previously worked on, making sure our projects are still intact, at least 2 days after working on them. And that way it just gives me some reassurance we don't have to go back and work on it, making sure all that's in good shape. Of course, my park hosts, they keep up with my campground since I'm everywhere else in the park, but we are about to take a lap in our cat fur cabin and check it out and see if it's all in good shape. Yeah. Come on in. And so in our cabin, we like to keep it cleaned after every reservation, and we strip the beds. We do not provide sheets or anything, but say if something was left, we like to wash all the bed protectors. We keep the floors clean and stocked with coffee, of course, not decaf, and hot cocoa. And one of my biggest roles in here is I have to keep a check on our smoke detector that I recently installed, check the HVAC, and making sure it is on the right mode depending on the weather. Like yesterday it was cool, so we had heat on, but today is very humid and hot, and so we have the AC on now to help cool off this building. And our next adventure is going to be checking on electrical outlets on our campsites. All right, let's go. All right, so now we are at site 12. It is one of our 6 full hookup sites. We provide 30 amp service with the little 20 amp outlet. Now this is one of the projects I've recently had to work on because the wiring below here where you see it, the panel is taped, it was all burnt up and fried. So making this top portion not want to work. And we've had to recently get the septic drained and from both sides. Okay. So now we're gonna test for 20 amp here. With our little buddy here. This little guy is like a ranger's best little trick and guide, because even if you're not good with electricity, it helps let you know if this panel is getting electricity. And by these 2 lights, these 2 orange lines show that the wiring is correct and there's no problem and everything's all set with that one. And we have this little tester pin, and of course if it's green, that means there's no electricity, and then if it's red, that plug is getting electricity and it's all set for our camper. And then I just turn off the breakers until somebody reserves this side. We are just gonna go check on our new heating and air conditioner in our big bathhouse and other projects that we've been working on. Let's go. So this is our big bathhouse that we keep in the campground, and we have another one that is much smaller. This is the popular one, and we also have newly installed mini splits for heating and air, and there's fresh paint on the walls. So let's go and check them out. I'm gonna remove this wet paint sign because we're no longer painting in here and it should be dry. So let's check. And here, all right. So, yep, these are freshly painted. They're all set, and we're going to be fixing this as well. Sure. Oh yeah, nice and cold. All right, let's go. Hey, now we're at sites 26 and 27. A lot of our campers, when they stay on these 2 sites, they love to come down here to this little spot that is man-made and come fishing. And things I just like to check on and is making sure there's no hooks or fishing poles being left alone. So at the moment it's looking all good, but besides fishing poles, sometimes you'll see fishing hooks tied to the trees all along the bank here. And that's something to be mindful of, because we don't want anything left alone because of possibly wildlife getting hooked on it and just be left. And now let's move on to our next thing. So, as I'm going down Park Road, some of the typical things is while we're going slow and being mindful of the speed limit, it's just browsing for trash all along the roads. Because of course we don't have no trash cans out in any of our day use areas. Whatever they bring in, people have to take out or use our dumpster that's for our campground and shelters. And we are coming up, we have some branches here in the road that fell from the top of the tree, so we're just gonna park, put our hazards on, and get that removed. All right, and then the rest will just blow off later. Let's go. Here we are up here at the front office, which is this little building in the middle of all of our day use areas, and we're about to restock all of our firewood bundles. Well, now that our firewood is restocked, customers, they'll just come pay for it, and we also keep them stocked in the store. So our next thing is we're gonna open up the office and get all that going. Then we're gonna go put out our ginormous sign. All right, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And generally, my day, it always goes back and forth between assisting customers and maintenance projects, and also working the office and handling all that. And feel free to come check us out at Little PD State Park. Again, thank you. Have a good one.